Hello, Chris from My Stamp Lady here to help inspire your rubber stamping. And with this card, I wanted to do multiple layers, but I didn't want to do lots of layers of cardstock. And because I have the dies that coordinate, it's easy to cut them out, but I still did want to stamp these layers right on the card front. So with this card, I have used some of the products, our Vintage Leaves bundle with the coordinating dies, Thoughtful Forest Friends, and the Lots of Labels dies. Okay, so the first step I did is I have a piece of thick cardstock that I've cut in half for my card base. I did not stamp directly on there. It was easier to stamp on another layer and run it through the Big Shot, and I'll do all those things with it. Start my leaf stamping. I have the photopolymer leaves that I'm going to use. Okay, to start this and to coloring them, I did put multiple colors on each image, and I did that by using sponges. So I'm going to put the crushed curry on first. I'm always going to start with the lighter color and then move into the darker color. And I added a bit of Cajun Craze on the end. One of the keys to using the multiple colors is that you need to wash your stamp every time in between so that you don't get the colors muddied. So I'm going to this time do a little more Cajun Craze on this. I did the Cajun Craze around there, and then I'm going to add a little bit of soft suede around the edges. Okay, and we'll stamp this one going down this way. This one, we'll start with the soft suede and get that inked up, and then I'm going to add just a bit of the Cajun Craze around the edge. Okay, and we'll stamp that one there. Okay, so now this is ready to run through the embossing folder, and I did do the stamping first, and then I'll run it through the embossing folder with the Boho Chic folder. The reason you want to stamp first is so you do not have to stamp over the texture that you've put on there and get an uneven image. I've run that through, and so now I have the texture and my stamping behind. So I'm going to set this aside for a moment, and we'll go on to the next part, which is stamping the individual leaves in the sentiment. So the first one, I'm going to use the Give Thanks from the Thankful Forest Friends, and I'm stamping that to the right of my cardstock here. So I pulled in the Lots of Labels die, put this through the Big Shot to cut that out, but before I do, I want to get my stamping done. So we will do, again, let's do this larger one in Cajun Craze, and it's been cleaned. I always want to make sure you clean that off. And let's put a little bit of soft suede around the edge. Okay. And we'll just stamp that right in the center because I am going to cut that out. And then with this one, let's see, we'll do it mostly, and I can even just ink that up in the crushed curry because I'm just going to add a bit of Cajun Craze around the edges. Okay. So now we'll pull in the dies that I will use, and I will run this through the Big Shot. So here we have one of the leaves, and another leaf, and then my sentiment. I am going to go over to my cutter and cut that sentiment off. I'm going to cut this left side off so you can see how that's going to line up on the left side. My little accents that are on the piece, I have taken a Sharpie marker and colored up the white perfect accents. This is how, it's an easy way, you can use them white, but this is an easy way to change the color. And then I wanted two of the smaller ones. The Sharpies work great. They color them nicely, and you've got to let them dry, but once they've dried, they are permanent. The color is permanent on there. Set that aside to let those dry. Okay, so let's get our card, pull that base back in here, using some of the Fast Fuse or the very strong adhesive. This is just going flush down onto the card front. Wrap a little bit of the linen thread around the card sentiment here and just tie that. So I have that linen thread just up against this left side. Let's use some fast fuse to place that down. There we go. It's nice and sticky and we'll hold it. I did use dimensionals behind my leaves to give them just a little bit of pop. So I've got dimensionals behind there. I placed that down. Let's grab. Now I have found with the white accents that sometimes it likes to separate. Oh, look at that. Got that one right off. It likes to separate between the paper and the accent. So picking it up like that is helpful. That way you'll know you get the white background off and the top part. So there we go. There you go. So now I have texture back here. Stamped those before I've embossed them. If you have any questions about what I've done, don't hesitate to contact me, Chris, at mystamplady.com. All of these supplies are available in my online store at shopwithmystamplady.com. If you like videos like this, I would appreciate a thumbs up. Thanks for watching.